Hello and welcome back to another episode of Why So Serious a Nerd podcast. Joining me today is my co-host JD, and we are bringing you another edition of Week in Geek. It's we skipped a week, so it's been 2 weeks since our last episode, so we have a jam-packed episode. But don't forget to check us out on social media at Why So Serious Pod, Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. We've been pretty busy lately with our recent episodes. We covered the Daredevil finale. You, me, and Dave covered it last week, so that was a pretty great season overall. So please go check that out if you've watched it. Of course, you covered the Mall finale as well. Andy and Dave covered that, and we have The Boys. Hopefully, later this week we'll be covering episodes 5, 6, and 7, and then we'll do an episode for the finale next week. And also, we have the Punisher special coming out tomorrow. So stay tuned for an episode of that as well. So as Daredevil and Maul and the Boys wrap up, it continues on with Daredevil, the Punisher, and we also Mandalorian and Grogu comes out May 22nd. So we're gonna keep it rolling for the whole month of May. But real quick, what did you think about Maul? Did you like the finale of Maul? Since we both missed our coverage of it. So how do you think of the slight spoilers? But it's also been out for 2 weeks now, so it should be.
Spoilers will be impossible. I have not seen the finale.
Oh, okay.
But I got spoilers. We already said spoilers, so definitely spoilers. But Vader does show up at the end? Does he fight Maul? Oh, is it good?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's sick. Oh, I can't wait.
And I'm not going to get too much into it, but I think Devin is one of the best characters they've introduced in the last couple of years for sure. Like she's actually when we got this Maul show, it's like, oh, we're gonna get this, Padawan who survived Order 66. Who cares? But by the end of it, you're like, I actually really like what we know because they're going to get multiple seasons of Maul Shadowlord. So I'm really excited to see what they do with her. I'm not going to spoil it for you what happens in the finale, but I think you'll like it.
And for me, side characters in Star Wars are so hit or miss, especially in the book. Sometimes we waste a lot of time reading chapters of side characters I don't care about. Devin, I thought, would fit into that category, but she was super interesting from the beginning. And it sounds like with the last 2 episodes, that doesn't disappoint. It's leading somewhere. So that's good. Keep it up, Devin.
Right? We're excited for season 2 and check out our coverage of the finale of that, of course. The last 4 episodes we covered at once. And if you're looking for any comic books, check us out at Panel Bound Comics. Use code WhySoCities to get a little discount there. And if you're in the chat right now, leave a question. Anything we're talking about, we're going to be talking about the good topics this week. So anything you're feeling, let it out. Let us know. We'll talk about it. So before we get into the big news of the last couple of weeks, we did have a box office redraft. So JD's final pick, Narnia, was delayed from December to February, which has happened before in the past with COVID and stuff. But this year it was a tight deadline. If it's delayed, we got to start over, which does kind of suck for you because it was getting a full theatrical release. So it's probably going to make money. It might be drafted next year, but it also feels like a Christmas movie.
Well, and that's the first Netflix movie, I think, to have a full release like this. So it's actually kind of a big deal in that in its own way. But Narnia, I even picked it, and I didn't know it was a Netflix pick. And then when I found out it was only going to be in theaters for like a week or 2 or something, and then I was pissed about it. And then now we're going to do this redraft because it gets delayed in the same day, same week. It says it's going to go 45 days in theaters. So it'll do pretty good at the box office. That would have been a good pick, but that's 2027.
What movie did you decide to replace that with?
Well, I gotta try to give everyone else a handicap. I had first pick. I got Doomsday. Yeah. It's a $2 billion film, so I'm going for fun, baby. I picked my starting team QB.
Screw you.
Not necessarily the best, but Clayface. Let's go. I think it'll overperform. I think it'll do better than people expect.
It comes out the perfect time of year too, right before Halloween.
Yeah, and horror is really on kind of an upswing lately.
Yeah. And it's original. We never had a Clayface movie before, so I don't hate the pick, honestly.
And it's Gotham, too. Like, Batman fans are going to come see this because it's in Gotham, and you might get a glimpse of Batman, or at least the world he lives in that DCU.
Yeah, and your top 3 picks are going to make like $4 billion, so... And Devil Wears Prada 2 is going off, so you're doing all right, man.
Oh, yeah, it'll be okay.
Yeah,
But you can't brag too much. You have Doomsday. The first pick of this draft was we almost decided to take that movie out of the draft. I
right.
hope if I win, it's by a lot more than Doomsday, because then I could at least brag a little bit. But if I just win by like $3 billion, then
Right.
whatever, it was easy.
Yeah. But there's a rule where if a movie's delayed, everyone else in the draft has the ability to change their movie out. So all of us decided to change their movie out because we were all feeling kind of iffy about our 5th round pick. So I switched Master of the Universe to Hexed, which is a Pixar movie coming out around Thanksgiving. Andy switched Godzilla Minus Zero to Cat in the Hat, which also comes out around Thanksgiving. So safer pick, I'd say. We both both of us went with more of a safer pick, and then Dave switched Social Reckoning to Mortal Kombat 2, which just came out last weekend. It started with about 63 opening weekend, but it hasn't been fully worldwide yet. So I'm actually seeing it tomorrow as well, so I'm helping out for him.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be better than the first one, from what I hear. People are actually enjoying it, and it'll have legs overseas. It's a popular IP.
Yeah, exactly. So stay tuned. Check out our latest post on Instagram. Andy got up all the graphics for us in our full draft board and the redraft. So go check that out on Instagram, please. Let's get into the news. We had a couple little pieces of breaking news today I just added. And The Dark Lord returns. Season 3 of Rings of Power is November 11th, 2026. So we have a confirmed release date. Good time of year. Lord of the Rings always came out during Christmas. So are you excited for Rings of Power Season 3?
Well, yeah, a ton. The season 2, I liked season 1, and a lot of people did not like season 1. Season 2 is even better, I thought. And I think season 3, they're focusing on Sauron so much, and that's exactly what I wanted, especially compared to season 1. Sauron's like the main focus, and all the side characters are great. You're Durin and the king, whoever. Season 3, I think, is just going to keep going, man. I can't wait to see where the climax of this whole series goes, because we're going towards the prologue of Fellowship of the Ring there. So I kind of hope we get to see that as a full episode instead of a prologue.
And the picture they posted, it's like the Rings of Power official Twitter page. It shows Sauron with the helmet on.
The whole thing. I was just going to ask you, I was going to say, if they redo the prologue of Fellowship of the Ring, do you think Sauron, with this actor and everything, would straight up wear what he was wearing in the prologue? I sure hope he does. In that image, hell yeah. Right. That would be sick. I want to see the whole thing super accurately. You never know. Sometimes they could do some slightly different.
Right. But leading up to the prologue of Fellowship is the perfect way to end the show, or at least like before it.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah. So we're excited. We're positive fans over here, especially JD and I. So we love Rings of Power. We love Lord of the Rings. So we'll be covering that for sure. And it doesn't come out the same time as House of the Dragon for once. So that's a positive. You can actually do one at a time. And then with The Punisher releasing tomorrow, this just came out a couple hours ago as well, that it could be 45 minutes without credits. That's pretty disappointing. Like, that's an episode of Daredevil, basically.
Like, exactly. That is disappointing.
You need over an hour, right?
You should have over an hour. Yeah, it's supposed to be a short movie, but not like just a regular episode. Just here's an episode of The Punisher. It's not a series, just one episode. So
how much story can you tell?
Right, you can't tell that much. But it's Punisher. It's probably just going to be a slaughter fest, and it'll probably be a good 45 minutes. But ultimately, like, I don't know. That is a little bit of a bummer. I was hoping hour 10, kind of had that number in my mind, but that's okay.
It's not confirmed. This is a rumor, but it came out like the day before it dropped, so I'm pretty sure it's close to accurate. But we'll see tomorrow. So we did have a couple trailers drop. We had the Odyssey trailer drop on a late night show, and Christopher Nolan asked IMAX to build him a new camera. They did. Then he and Matt Damon spent 4 months filming the Odyssey on the open ocean, one of the largest modern Viking longships in the world, with no green screens at all. So this new trailer showed a little bit more. It showed a lot of kind of what happens with Robert Pattinson's character trying to marry Anne Hathaway, who is Matt Damon's wife, and Tom Holland, who is their son, trying to like defend his mother. So did you like this new Odyssey trailer? Are you pretty excited for it?
Very excited. This thing, it's going to be Nolan and cinematic and epic and action packed just because of the content. But this actually had me feel in some ways like him getting home to his son. They got that across so well. His son's at home dealing with stuff, and it's hard for them. And obviously, Anne Hathaway, his wife, is dealing with stuff. So, and you feel his urgency getting home. He's like, even the gods can't stop me from getting home. And I already feel invested in the story. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited to go in there. That's going to be one of those edge of your seat stories. He's going to be trying to get home desperately while these mythological beings are getting in his way and armies. So I think it's going to be a good one.
And Nolan was on Colbert, the late night show, and he was saying it's not a linear story, so that it will be jumping back and forth like, Christopher Nolan loves to do, but I'm sure it'll all make sense.
I have a feeling it'll also be the Iliad, like a lot of the Iliad. If they're going to tell the whole story, like where was he? Why was he off fighting? You can't, like, that'd be hard not to start the Odyssey. Yeah, okay. So if it's going to time jump, there you go.
It's like he said the movie starts and it's been 10 years since the Trojan War. And like John Bernthal's telling the story of where he's been this whole time. And then it kind of goes back to that time. And then it kind of tells the story leading those whole 10 years as the current timeline is going on at the same time with Tom Holland and Anne Hathaway.
Gotcha. So it's like they're including the Iliad.
Right.
So I want to say that war was going on for like 10 years and everyone was desperate to go home. Don't quote me on that. Something along those lines. But showing why he was over there fighting the Trojans or whoever they were facing, the whoever's. You got to show him that context, that war that was going on for a long time. It was a huge deal, the sack of Troy, and then he was on his way home after that. So yeah, you gotta do part of the Iliad.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I wish I could see it in IMAX, but I'll probably have to. Maybe I'll see it the second time in IMAX and see it the first time normal. The tickets are so hard to get.
For sure. I'll find an opening somewhere. I don't care about the screen, even though I'll do IMAX if it's there.
Right. And Nolan compared Homer, of course, the author of the Odyssey, to George Lucas. He said he was the, kind of the first ever George Lucas who created this whole, mythical world. So Christopher Nolan needs to direct a Star Wars movie, is what I'm thinking. If he thinks Homer is on the level of George Lucas, like just let him give him his own trilogy,
Do a George Lucas story as well. Yeah, yeah, that would be that's kind of our dream,
right? And we did get another trailer. We got House of the Dragon season 3. We got a couple teasers before. I think this was kind of the first full trailer where Damon's kind of hyping up Rhaenyra. It shows maybe her and Alicent meet again. We have Aegon, who's like burned and looks like a real weirdo now, trying to get revenge on his brother.
Yeah.
We see the scene later where Aemon's like saying like, pull out your sword and duel me now. And I'm wondering if it's Aegon or if it's someone else, but it would be cool to get an Aegon versus Aemon battle. And also we see all the dragons in the skies, shooting fire out. So this is going to be awesome.
You got to believe that was brother on brother because he was like hunting him down. I don't feel like Aemon can stand up against Aegon, or am I getting it the other way around? The burnt one. Yeah.
Aegon's
what I mean? I don't see that being an amazing 1v1, right? He's not going to be as skilled.
His body's a little messed up. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was never maybe on that level, but so you got to believe that was him. He was kind of hunting him around. You could picture his brother trying to hide and stuff. Trailer looks sick. But season 2 trailer looks pretty freaking sick too, and season 2 was really not that great for me. So they got some trust to build a little bit. I do expect this to be better than season 2. I think season 2 was their like development era, their development phase. Even though we kind of expected a war, I'll give them a pass. This is gonna become very focused and very crazy and violent and emotional, and I think it's gonna be good.
I just hate to see the dragons fight each other. I'm really, because this is the Targaryens at their height. They're never the same again. So I do. I don't want to see that part. And when it comes to the Aemon duel, it could be Kristen Cole. This is no spoilers. I don't remember all these details, but Kristen Cole or Sir Crispin could, I could see a redemption arc, quote unquote, like where he kind of like, because in the last season, he was like, all these dragons are murdering everyone. And he's like having like shell shock in the middle of the battle. So I could see him being like, all right, this is enough. Aemon's in charge now. And, because I feel like Aegon versus Aemon is like, it would be a wash. Like Aemon would just beat him in 10 seconds. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, that could have been cool. That could have been cool. I like the redemption arc. I don't necessarily. I kind of want to just see him die a slow,
Yeah,
terrible death,
right.
but no, that'd be okay too. And that does make sense. You kind of reconsider things once you're in the face of something way more ominous than a human being and armies,
Right.
and there's a freaking dragon, so you're going to start to reconsider things.
Right. Yeah, I've spoiled that show multiple times for myself, but I only remember one fate, and it's pretty brutal. But the rest of it, I don't remember. So, but I won't say anything. You don't know anything, right?
No, nothing.
Nice. Because Dave knows too, so you'll be the one that you'll be the fresh one.
I kind of want to read it first. Maybe I'll just read it and figure it out. Just kidding.
No. So Andy Muschietti reveals they've been working on It Welcome to Derry Season 2. It will explore a subplot King planted in the 1986 original It novel. So not too many details yet, but we all love this show. We're excited for the next season, right?
Yeah, if the same writers and directors are attached, I think it'll be good. I didn't expect season 1 to be good, and it was great. Season 2, maybe it's like, I don't know, what can you really strike that magic again? Because that was a really good show for just being this Pennywise clown story.
Right.
Can you do it again? I don't know. We'll kind of see how that goes.
One and done would have been the best idea. But
yeah,
if they can
that
really
feels right.
do it, you do it again. I agree with you.
Right.
Andy Serkis says Viggo Mortensen was thrilled with the recasting of Aragorn, and he gave his seal of approval. Jamie Dornan was 100% the right person to do it. So that does help a little bit, right? Because we're a little skeptical because he's the only person that's been recasted so far from the original show. Everyone else is coming back. So
true.
If Viggo approves, I guess it's okay, right?
Yeah, that's okay. And really, it's like if the casting of Aragorn isn't that important to me. It's all, story and writing and cinematography for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so curious to see what they're doing with this. So I'm excited out of curiosity. We'll see how it goes. We've had The Hobbit, not great. We had Rings of Power, pretty solid in our opinion. We like it. This one, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be really cool, if not just for nostalgia or something. I'm really excited just to see that go down. And Aragorn, casting in Hollywood nowadays, I'm okay with the casting. And Viggo gives his approval, then that's fine.
Right. I don't want Lord of the Rings to have the same problem as Star Wars, where we're making all these projects in between things we already saw, to where we know the outcome. Because it's Hunt for Gollum. They're going to be hunting for Gollum because he has the ring and all that stuff. But we know what happens in the end. You know what I mean?
Right. How are they going to make us feel that we need to get to Mount Doom and destroy this ring? It's not going to feel that way because this is before all that goes down. And we even know where the ring ends up. So that actually is quite a hurdle they have to accomplish, because it was like the Lord of the Rings. Every second of that movie, you're just like, come on, you got to get closer, get there, survive. Right. Like, what are we going to do here hunting for Gollum? It's going to be tough to strike that feeling.
Right. It sounds like a video game almost. A good video game would be Hunt for Gollum. You know what I mean?
Sound like a video game, yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, I think it comes out next year, so it could be on the box office draft board. But a new Planet of the Apes movie is in the works, with Matt Shakman set to direct, of course, the Fantastic Four and WandaVision. It will not be a continuation of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So it's a nice, new reset. But they have told this story probably 3 times now. Are you excited for it still?
Not yet, because I don't know.
Andy Serkis as Caesar.
That is a thing. Did you say that, Andy Serkis?
No, I'm saying like Andy Serkis as Caesar can't be replaced.
Without him, it's going to be rough too. But yeah, I don't know. Something about Rise and seeing James Franco raise this monkey was so special, and that monkey breaking out. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, so badass, seeing how they're really kind of establishing themselves as society and the inner strife. War for the Planet of the Apes kind of sucked, in my opinion. And like, I just don't. Okay. What was the most recent one too? Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, with the girl. Right.
That one was pretty good too. Pretty solid. Like, not up there with Dawn or Rise, but I liked
that.
That
was a standalone though, right? That was like set. That was set like in the future.
Yeah, and it counted though. They were kind of worshiping Caesar. He was kind
right.
martyr at that point or something.
That's interesting. They're going in like a new direction.
I know, and if it's just
Instead
monkeys,
of a
why not
sequel.
just have the legacy of Caesar there and tell your story?
Right.
Unless you're trying to go from the ground up all over again, which, yeah, I just don't know. I'm not that excited. I wasn't even excited to go see Rise back in the day. It came out when we were in high school. But I went and saw it for whatever reason, just loved it. I was like, this is so good. I don't know. I don't see where this can go that'll kind of match that.
I watched all three of them just a couple of years ago for the first time because I've never been a Planet of the Apes fan. So I remember you and Dave talking about them, saying how like really good movies they are. And another friend told me it's a really good movie. So I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. And yeah, for a Planet of the, you think Planet of the Apes is going to be kind of goofy, kind of weird, but it's real. Like you really feel real emotions for this monkey who's, super intelligent.
Yeah. It had kind of an MCU vibe, early phase 1 and 2, like your Iron Man origin. It felt kind of real, like that could happen. And had great moments of just like satisfying moments when he breaks out, or when he offs the guy in the shelter, breaking everyone else out and making everyone else smart. There was just like, cool moments.
Right. No, it's sick.
And we got some asshole in the chat calling us goofy and weird. We don't want to give that any attention. Hey, David.
Another piece of news that came out today, a Westworld movie is in the works. So have you ever watched Westworld?
Still haven't.
Oh, come on. It was in my top 10.
Season 1, right? Not so much 2.
You can watch season 2. Just watch season 1 and then stop if you want. But so you can watch season 2 as well. You'll want to watch season 2 after watching season 1. But apparently it's going to be a complete reboot. Like this isn't continuing from the show. It's going to be starting over fresh. David Cope is writing the script, and a major mystery filmmaker is eyeing to direct. So, and it's like, if I could pick anyone, it would be Nolan, because this is a show. His brother actually wrote the show on HBO.
Oh wow!
I don't know
so
his name exactly.
It's likely that
his
name
brother
is in the pod, at least.
Right, his brother was like the main showrunner for Westworld. Dude. So Nolan would be dope for it. Crazy plot twist. You have Anthony Hopkins in the show, and I would definitely recommend watching season 1. But a movie, I'm down.
It's getting, we say this about every single movie franchise, and David's not wrong. Denis would be perfect for that. It's not the wrong answer. But we just want Nolan and Denis on everything, and why don't they just do it? Get a paycheck. You're going to get paid at Marvel. You're going to get paid at Star Wars. You're going to get paid at DC.
More than normal.
Movie will probably be like forever legacy, forever. Like you're going to have a legendary. Well, Nolan already has his DC one, but you could do more.
Well, let's move on to Marvel. We do have some details on Spider-Man Brand New Day. So the opening scene takes place 9 months after No Way Home, and another time jump is expected later. A new suit is inspired by meeting Tobey and Andrew's Spider-Man variants. Real fabric, seams, wrinkles. No more Stark gadgets. Peter has a new AI assistant named Evie. She is sadly the closest thing Peter has to a friend. So he's moving on from the Stark tech. Obviously, Tony's gone. We're getting kind of a more, inspired by the 2 other Spider-Man he met, going back to the basics, and the 9-month time jump, which is helpful, I guess. So how do you feel about all this?
That's accurate to the MCU. It seems like that's 9 months since anything we've seen on screen. A little bit. I don't know. But I don't know. This is so weird. I'm so excited for this movie, but not a lot of the details are getting me that excited. I'm glad he's making his own stuff. I'm glad he's got a practical suit. I'm stoked about the director, seeing what he's going to do differently from John Watts. I see that as a big upgrade in a lot of ways, even though I like a lot of the Watts stuff. But it feels messy. Punisher, Hulk, Tombstone, Scorpion, Jean Grey. Like, it feels messy. And
Mr. Negative, maybe.
Like, who's the villain? What is the goal here? It's like, what is this? It feels so scrambled together. At the same time, looking at the director and the care they put into it and the practical swinging, like, I'm pumped for this. It's just, it seems like they're maybe not marketing it well or telling us the right things Or
I
doesn't
kind
it
of
seem
like it
like a
though.
little bit? I
I
do
kind of
like it.
like
It's not that
I
I
like being
dislike it.
surprised. I want to be surprised.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is a good point. That's
Yeah.
gonna be yeah, we're gonna go in there completely fresh, not knowing what the hell's gonna go on. So I like that.
Because I feel like the last couple big Marvel movies, things got leaked. Things, we knew who was going to be the main villain of almost every movie. And now it feels,
Yeah,
I'm sure, once June and the beginning of July comes around, there'll be some like shit that comes out where we'll try
a
to
little
avoid
more.
it. We'll get spoiled a couple things. But for now, I'm enjoying that it is a surprise because there has to be a bigger villain than Tombstone or the Hand. Like Spider-Man can just take them out pretty easily.
Yeah, it almost makes you feel like they have a ace up their sleeve or something. Like, whoa, why are you being so vague right now? You got something really
Who,
cool to show
who
us.
would it be though? Who would it be though? That's the
I don't
thing.
know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, because if it's like all of a sudden Mister Negative, that's not a giant pop. It's just like, oh, it's a guy from a video game.
No one knows
I
who
don't
it
know,
really
dude.
is though.
I got
Mr.
nothing.
Negative wouldn't, you know. No one
Like,
knows him,
and
really.
if there was a bigger, like, a central leader of the Hand that we were all familiar with, but it's just they're just like a group of ninjas that kind of switch masters. So I can't connect it to that.
And they did a
I
lot
don't
of the
know.
Rogues Gallery in No Way Home.
Mhm.
Doc Ock,
You,
Green
you never
Goblin.
know. They could introduce the new Doc Ock or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm just confused, and that's a good point for you. That's a good thing.
Right?
It's kind of a good thing not to know exactly where this is going.
Is it just the Hulk? You think Hulk goes Savage Hulk?
I don't think he's a big part of the movie. I kind of do think he's being forced in there because I
Right.
think they will do Savage Hulk, but there's no way he's a central part of the story. But if they found a way to make him a central part of the story, that'd make me happy. That'd be awesome. But I don't think. I think it's more like the main villain's gonna, make his mind go crazy. Maybe it has more to do with the X-Men than we think, and that's gonna be like. Could you imagine some kind of X-Men villain being the main villain? But everyone is so convinced, even in the
Mm.
professional, like the whole thing, everyone's convinced it's Jean Grey. It's like it's already set and done, just not confirmed yet, kind of thing. I don't know. So there's a lot of weird stuff, a lot of question
Hmm.
marks.
An X-Men villain would be kind of cool.
That'd be crazy. I
Does
don't think
Doctor
so.
Doom have any kind of underlings he works with?
Not really. Not
Right. He kind of
really.
does his own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Rules Latveria.
Right. Well, we'll see. And that's obviously my first round pick in the box office draft. So go see it opening weekend. I'll be there. The live action MCU series releasing next on Disney Plus will be Vision Quest later this year. So is it coming out in 2026? We are getting something. Well, it'll be before Doomsday, obviously. So we still won't get anything between Doomsday and Secret Wars so far. But are you still excited for the show? Like, I
Oh
know
yeah.
it's been a while.
I'm very, very excited because I've been wondering ever since the very first MCU Disney Plus show, where's the White Vision? Where did that guy go? Ultron coming back, James Spader
James
coming
Spader.
back. So that feels like a sequel to WandaVision in the best way possible. Show me White Vision, show me Ultron. It sounds really cool, and they've been doing great shows lately. Wonder Man and Born Again. They're kind of on a roll. Movies have been better lately. They're kind of Marvel. I think the Feige creative power is back, and I think that this. I don't think this was shot prior to the
They probably
switch up,
redid
right?
it if they probably
Yeah, it feels like it was.
redid it if
It's
they
been
had to.
so long. It seems to have been redone or something. But yeah, I am very excited for this. I do. I can't wait to see what they got for that. And with what's going on with Wanda, we don't know where Wanda is. She's supposed to be a gigantic part of
Right.
Doctor Doom's. Like she could potentially be a big part of that movie Doomsday or Secret Wars. So maybe this is going to bring Ultron back to the MCU in a way that we'll be like, oh, he's going to be in Doomsday as well. That would
Oh,
be exciting, even if not.
yeah.
But I'm really excited to see what they're doing with these AI bipedal beings.
Right. I'd like to see a show lead into movies more than we've seen in the past. And if you have Ultron and Wanda as a possibility, it should kind of because what else? What other shows have really bleeded into movies? I mean, Loki is gonna bleed into Doomsday and Secret Wars, so we know Tom Hiddleston's coming back. But everything else, it kind of feels like it's on its own.
WandaVision bled right into Doctor Strange 2.
Okay.
And So you could say that kind of like lineage of the the Disney Plus
Falcon Winter
shows.
Soldier, a little bit.
Yeah. I mean that showed where they were.
Those are the
Yeah, a
first
little
two,
bit,
though.
right? They were the first two. Nothing else has bled into anything, except Loki will probably. But if Vision Quest is right in that realm of, because even Agatha all along was a little bit of a sequel to WandaVision. So we're still searching for Wanda. We're still searching for Billy and Tommy. So you got to hope they're going to be in there. And yeah.
What was
Vision?
Did Wanda appear in the Agatha All Along finale?
No, just mentioned.
Oh,
I feel like they're trying to find her.
okay.
Which
But
big
Vision-
part in the comics, Children's Crusade, trying to find, like, Billy and Tommy come to the scene.
Right.
They're trying to find Wanda, and that led them right to Doctor Doom. So that's crazy.
Come on, do it in Vision Quest.
Do something. That'd be sick. Could you imagine if we got a peek at Doctor Doom in Vision Quest?
Because Vision and Ultron could probably hold a show on their own, but a little bit of Wanda and her kids tying in, leading.
Yeah, big time. I'd be there.
Yeah. So, would you be down for another Thor movie?
Hey, if we get the thing where we're talking about Norse gods and a serious dark tone, I am so there. So, God of War, Ragnarok, Thor that feels like that when he comes down to your little cabin and is going to sit down at your table and talk to you and threaten you, it's going to feel scary and you're just going to be terrified, and thunder and darkness. And that sounds awesome. You could go way more mythological with it and deal with a lot of fun Norse mythology and bring in a couple other Thor villains, which I couldn't even name one, to be honest, that we haven't seen so far. But yeah, give me that kind of Thor. We've seen the goofy ass Thor so much. We kind of need to set back, get back to base with Thor. He is a god. He's powerful. He should be a freaking warrior drinking beer and all that stuff. I want to see that Thor.
Kenneth Branagh has an idea for a Thor film that's kind of like Logan. I would love to see Chris Hemsworth and the others have their own individual final story that takes Thor into a glorious twilight. So if you're going to do another Thor movie, make it like Logan. That's the only way I would accept it, if it's like kind of like his final send-off, which obviously Hugh Jackman came back in Deadpool and Wolverine, but that's a whole other story. For the Fox universe, it was the perfect send-off for their character.
Jason Aaron had a comic run, far future, dystopian future. Thor's on Earth with his two daughters. Most of humanity is wiped out. Galactus wants to eat that planet, and he's going to do everything in his power to save Earth, even though there's no people on it, because it's like his home away from home. Pretty epic story, and it's just like a very galactic, dystopian, depressing, but Thor's going to be old and going to be badass, and he's going to fight off some crazy threat in Galactus. So that was a really good comic. That'd be crazy if they did some kind of Galactus stuff with that. But either way, a Logan style Thor sounds wild.
Right. It's a complete opposite of Love and Thunder, which everyone hated too, because everyone loves Infinity War Thor, and that is like the most broken, real version of him. You know what I mean? Where he's Asgard was just destroyed. Everyone on his ship was just killed by Thanos, or half of them were killed, and he barely survived. Loki was killed, and he's at his lowest, and everyone just loves him right then. So bring that back.
Yeah, he was mad focused, and that's a scary Thor.
Yeah,
I kind of liked Fat Thor. It's kind of growing on me, especially with the Iron Man Cap and Thor versus Thanos.
For a one-off, it's perfect.
Peak Thor is Infinity War for sure, but I'm like kind of sold on the braided beard and the fat belly and kind of the I don't know, angrier or whatever, more something kind of Thor.
Right. No, but it's okay if we haven't seen another Thor movie. I think everyone will be fine if he just shows up in Doomsday and maybe Secret Wars. But if you want to do it, we're okay with it. Let's talk a little DC. So the Authority has currently been scrapped by DC Studios and James Gunn. It didn't work in terms of the larger DCU, both in terms of the story and the practical concerns. Maybe someday, but not soon. So you're the DC expert on the show right now. Are you is this disappointing at all, or are you okay with it?
I'm not disappointed. No, I think that, when he created the DCU and got put into the position of CEO of DC with Peter Safran, I feel like he was thinking about building a universe and thinking of all the corners this universe can go. Let's develop this and this and that corner. Once Superman was made, and then he kind of realized how long everything else has been taken to get a script and shooting done for Supergirl, and then all of a sudden Clayface for whatever reason. But then all of a sudden Superman 2 is coming out after all the announcements. It feels like he kind of realized that he can't build every corner of the universe so separately, and that would take so long, and the fans are going to get impatient. And
Right.
it feels like he just had some kind of switch up in ideas, because now you're going straight to Superman 2 and you're going to build this very specific corner of the universe. It's probably not going to include the Authority, but you're going to do Lex Luthor, probably Brainiac. It's like he's like, oh, I can't take 6 years to build this universe. I have to do things faster. I got an idea for Superman 2. Let's scratch the Authority.
Paramount's knocking on the door.
Yeah. And I feel like he's just kind of zeroing in on the goal, which that would be a good thing. That's okay. I don't need you to just stick to the exact things you told us like 3 years ago. If it ends up not fitting the story, I totally trust his instinct with where the story is going to go. So if you had to give some things a boot, I'm not going to be surprised if other things get the boot, as long as we keep our Batman, Swamp Thing, Lanterns.
Right.
But yeah, it feels like he's just adjusting or improvising, more like adjusting, because I don't think improvising kind of implies that you might have slipped up along the way. But I'm trusting this, and the Authority, whatever. Who cares? No one needs the Authority. They could be cool. They could be a great addition to the universe, but no one's like asking for it.
Right. When you're in phase 1 of your new universe, you need to keep it more focused. I'm not super familiar with Authority, but it feels more like a Guardians of the Galaxy phase 3 type of thing. So can you remind me of the novice nerds out there what the Authority is all about?
I would say they're more like the boys. They're more of a corrupt,
Okay.
not necessarily corrupt. They do want to do the right thing, but they definitely like don't care about the collateral damage they leave behind and stuff like that. And they're definitely morally complex. I'm not going full blown. This isn't a team of Homelander and the Aqua fucking nerd,
The Deep.
but yeah, the Deep. It's not that bad, but it is kind of halfway there. They're not full on evil villains, but very morally complex. They'll do a lot of things that Justice League would never do.
Right.
So you could tell fun stories in that. Everyone loves moral complexities nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And we're getting Clayface as our kind of contrast to the super world. So kind of you need to build up Superman and Batman first. I'm sorry. But if you want a good DC universe, we need Superman, we need Batman, and then we need like the Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. Get the Justice League building up first before you go off and do other stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you. Especially the Flash, in my opinion. I want Wonder
He
Woman and
needs it.
Flash ASAP. Aquaman, you could take a couple of years. It's all good.
Yeah,
But
right.
but yeah, I like the Clayface part though. I like they're doing Clayface. That's a cool, random, weird thing, and I do like we've had a lot of Batman movies. It'd be kind of cool to build up Gotham's universe with his villains and weird villains that we never seen on screen before, and it's going to be very horror-esque. I'm actually kind of pumped about that part. But yeah, it's like if you were to do that with any other character, I would not be happy about it. It's just we've had so much Batman, so let's start at Clayface first. That's fine. But it's like, yeah, if you told me there's a Zod movie coming out, I would be like, come on. And that's probably what a lot of people
Right.
feel about Clayface. But
Yeah.
I think that's cool for Gotham villains.
Right. It's interesting the contrast between Gotham and Metropolis. They're like pretty close to each other and they're just like polar opposites on the whole vibe of the city. You know what I mean? So you got to get that out going first.
Bright and hopeful and success, and then darkness and sorrow.
Petty crimes going on all the time. So James Gunn did have some more quotes on Lex and how he doesn't know Superman's identity yet. Did you hear about this or Superman's identity yet?
Mm-mm.
So he doesn't know who he is, and I don't know how he would. He says the first point is Lex thinks Superman is a disconnected alien who wants to take over the world, so I'm not sure why he'd assume he has a secret identity. And B, hypno glasses are real. Clark looks like another person. So when he puts the glasses on, he changes his identity, according to James Gunn. And C, being a genius in some ways, in Lex's case, genetics, electrochemistry, nanotechnology, nuclear and quantum physics, to name a few. Doesn't mean you are a genius in all fields. Like many scientists, you can miss basic things. So how do you, because they're obviously, let's talk about Man of Tomorrow, where they're going to be, side by side working together, and he still hasn't figured out what Superman's identity is.
I liked his previous excuse where his ego wouldn't allow him to connect the two. One is so great, he's jealous of this other one. He's like, I can't have the power of this other one, compared to Clark, who he knew in college and just felt so above. They didn't do any college stuff in the Superman movie at all. So
no
I guess we don't
backstory.
really feel that. No backstory. But the thing is, they grew up together, and he just, thought Clark was a fucking pig boy, unintelligent.
You think that's a Man of Tomorrow?
I don't know, maybe, but I think maybe James Gunn never said that. Maybe that was just written in a comic book. But the point is, his ego won't allow him to be like, this great thing is also this dirtbag. So it's like so separate in his consciousness that he's blind to it almost. Yeah,
that's kind of what he said though with his intelligence, where he's so smart he doesn't put he thinks he's so smart and so above everyone else he doesn't put 2 and 2 together.
For sure. Yeah, well, I like that. I like the dynamic of not knowing who and who's what and who's who. So I'm glad they're keeping that going. I'm glad he didn't figure it out in this one movie. But do you think he'll figure it out in Superman 2? Or will he continue
if they're going to work together, he probably has to, right?
Yeah,
you always want your main villain to know your true identity. That kind of adds an extra layer to the relationship, kind of with Daredevil and Fisk, like.
I could see it being like an end of the movie thing. He finds out he's been working with him the whole movie. Maybe even you could play on that. That'd be a lot of fun. He could talk shit about Clark Kent or vice versa. I don't know. And
like beginning of the third act, he figures it out.
I would say this is the end of the movie. That was where my mind was. That'd be a cool way to end it. Holy shit, Superman is Clark Kent. That would get everyone like itching to see the next chapter wherever it comes.
So Matthew Lillard has been cast in Superman Man of Tomorrow. Do you think he's going to be a significant character? He was just in Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah, why does he keep coming to the Why does he keep coming to the stuff, the nerd stuff? I mean, out of nowhere. It's been years. It's been Without a Paddle and Scooby Doo. It's been 15 years, 20 years since all that came out, and all of a sudden he's like, actually really interesting in Daredevil and cast in Superman 2. I don't know. No, I don't know what he's gonna do. It's probably similar. I feel like it's going to be similar, small, like significant enough, but still small.
Right. I like that. And the Batman 2 will officially take place during winter. We saw the Batmobile with snow tires on. So we're finally getting a little bit from that movie, which is always good to know. But, 6 years later, we'll get the sequel. That goes though.
And snow tires. Right?
Yeah. Winter's cool, I guess, if you get Is there a Christmas Batman story?
Hell yeah! Long Halloween had a lot of holidays in it over the course of a year, but Joker tying up this family with Christmas lights and stealing all their stuff. I want to say there's more, but we never seen Batman in the snow on the big screen. That's like one of the few things you could say we haven't seen Batman do on the big screen. Like they're really reaching for things that. Yeah. I mean, look what he did with the bridge. He ran right into a bridge. I mean, he's a genius, but he can't freaking fly over under that bridge, escaping the cops. That was goofy as hell. And he survived. Congratulations on that, being not actually super powered and flying into a bridge at that speed. He's definitely going to take a slip in some snow.
And speaking of Batman's Rogues Gallery, we have a Deathstroke and Bane project in the works. Greg Mottola from Superbad, and he directed a couple episodes of Peacemaker. He wasn't like the director for the whole time. Is the front runner to direct this movie. It's still very early in the project, and a script hasn't come in yet. This is obviously the Ben Affleck movie, right? Wasn't he trying to do a Deathstroke and Bane movie, or was that Deathstroke?
He was going Batman versus Deathstroke. Yeah, totally unrelated. But looked pretty sick though,
right?
From what we saw. This dude, I have no idea what the hell they're doing. Deathstroke and Bane don't have comic connections.
Right, a comedic director.
And a comedic director, but that's okay. Russo brothers, I feel like one of the only big things they did before that was Arrested Development. Michael Cera and Jason Bateman. I'm just so confused, bro. They don't have a comic book background together. They're not kind of ingratiated into each other's origin or anything. But at the same time, if you asked me my like 10 favorite comic book villains, I feel like Deathstroke and Bane would both be on that list. They're both so
Really?
badass. They're like so cool. Bane, another issue, by the way, is how do you find someone that's going to be that big? Bane is supposed to be smart, so you can't just have a dumbass with muscles in there. You have to have good acting chops where you have to be gigantic. You don't CGI on human being muscles, right? You could do CGI Hulk, but not like a human being with giant muscles. That's going to be weird if you're going for comic accurate Bane, because Tom Hardy did a great Bane. I mean, that's pretty crazy that they could do that. No venom, no getting all big and pumpy and crazy, but he's supposed to stay smart. It's such a sick idea. I love those characters, and I feel like they could do some cool stuff with them. It's just so weird, so bizarre. If you told me they were going to make a Deathstroke and Bane movie like 10 years ago, I'd be like, you're an idiot. That's not ever going to happen. They don't belong together. I don't know if I've seen them interact in the comics, so still two really freaking awesome characters that I will be very excited to go watch.
It is an interesting strategy if the Batman is still going on with Robert Pattinson, where James Gunn wants to build up his Gotham without featuring Batman first. So we're going to get Clayface, then we get Deathstroke and Bane. So it kind of gives Matt Reeves time to finish his trilogy, and then we get Brave and the Bold.
I like that.
Right?
There's a synergy there, because the more you do develop before Batman, the more impactful Batman's first
We've seen so many
Batman
movies.
We've seen so many Batman movies. There's plenty of great rogues. Got the best rogues gallery, period. You could do a lot of different rogues galleries. The Penguin show was amazing. Even that Gotham show was pretty solid. You could do a lot. Obviously, the Joker, the Riddler, but Two-Face. So many things. I'm down with it. No matter how impatient we are, I feel like it'll be just that much better. The more movies or shows we get that take place in Gotham before Batman, I think the patience will be worth it, because it's going to build it up and build it up. But at that point, you better make Batman the most legendary Batman ever, because we waited that long. He's got to be just like a perfect Batman.
And I don't know how smart he is, and I think he's lost some weight recently, but it is James Gunn's boy, Batista, as Bane. You know what I mean? That's always been a thing.
As Bane? Yeah.
He's always been that kind of fan cast.
He's actually not that. He's actually a pretty good actor.
He's gotten better.
He's actually not. Yeah, he's gotten better. And if you have really good writing, I think Batista could actually pull that off, because he is massive. He's pretty ripped, and he'll probably even stack on a couple dozen pounds for the role. And
he's lost weight though for his last movie. He looked pretty skinny.
Well, gaining it's easier than losing.
Right. Yeah, right. He'll get a little shot in the butt. He'll be fine. No, but that'd be fun. I'm down for a Deathstroke and Bane movie. This is like a buddy cop type of whatever style they do, because they have to be like working together at some point, right?
It would be cool if Deathstroke was one of Bane's assassins. I think that'd be insanely cool. But I'd say Bane is more of a villain than Deathstroke as far as big plans. Deathstroke is just a mercenary, and he's like perfect at it. He's really good at it, but he doesn't ever like take control of anything. Like, he just does his own little thing and gets paid. Bane is like taking control of all of Gotham a couple times and has had these massive plans. I would really like it if Deathstroke was an assassin for Bane, and Bane's doing crazy stuff.
It's funny though, Bane in the George Clooney movie is just a total joke. That's the first, iteration I saw Bane in.
Yeah. It's just
juiced up with crazy. Whatever's going on there.
At least he looks comic accurate, but that's
right. That's about it. All right, a couple of quick Star Wars topics before we wrap it up. So on Fortnite, there's this new, they like opened like a creator thing or something. I don't know, but it's called Frontlines, and it's a Star Wars Battlefront style mode, and it's like 32 versus 32, and you can like play as like Anakin and Obi-Wan and all of the Jedi too. And it has 4 maps like Tatooine, Naboo, and it looks, I've never played Fortnite before, but showing this where you can play like, it's not like one, it's like every man, you ever played Fortnite before?
Yeah, I played a lot of Fortnite.
it's like 100 people and it's every man for themselves, or you like 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. This is like classic Battlefront Galactic, or I forgot what it's called. Like the game mode online where you have to like capture the flag and like capture different outposts and stuff. So it's like a Battlefront style game in Fortnite.
That could be fun. I don't know. You never know. With
Right?
Star Wars, I prefer the campaign or the arcade mode. I don't
Right.
know about for Star Wars. I don't like multiplayer. I like multiplayer on Warzone and obviously
That's
Rocket League and Fortnite is fine, but Star Wars, I kind of want to just dominate with my lightsaber. It could be fun. You never know, especially with, friends make everything fun if a bunch of people are competing,
Right.
but we'll see how it goes.
I have
Cause
a
I
couple
just
friends.
sucked ass on what was the Battlefront 2 had online mode, and man, I just sucked. It
Really?
just was terrible.
I
I
did
got
all
killed a
right.
lot. I did good at Warzone. I did have done okay at Fortnite. Oh, and what's the other one? Apex Legends. Played a lot of Apex Legends. I feel
Okay.
like I'm better in every other game in Battlefront when I'm a Star
Hmm.
Wars character. I just sucked. So maybe that's my
Yeah,
own fault.
that's okay. I might try it out though. Maybe I'll do a little live stream of Fortnite. Like that'll get some viewers.
Hell
Fortnite
yeah.
Star Wars. Come on, the hashtags will go off.
There's nothing better than winning a battle royale. Like that's one of the best wins. If you won
Right?
Warzone, it's one of the best.
Just hide the whole time.
Yeah, that's how you start.
And lastly, there was a new teaser for the Star Wars racing game, Star Wars Galactic Racer, which releases on October 6th. And honestly, I'm not super excited for it. I'm going to play it, obviously, but it looks just like a pod racer game on PS5. So does this interest you at all? Just like a Need for Speed Star Wars style game?
Did it look like it was just isolated to the racing track only? It's definitely not open world in any way.
There's like different
Maybe.
locations. Maybe you can like race around to like different races, but not like open world.
I don't know what happened to the soul of the racing game, but it's died. It died with Need for Speed Most Wanted. And once I see a racing game that plays a lot like that, especially if it's on Tatooine and Coruscant and shit like that, that would be awesome too. But I mean, like, where did that go? Why do we only have multiplayer racing games?
It's all about online and
only the racetrack.
DLC paying money.
Dude, I want to go open world and do my races when I want to. Get your car with the green slip, the pink slip, and then keep running. And I could run around the cops. I can go wherever I want. I can go race again when I want. That just died for some reason. I don't get it because it was so epic. Everyone loved it. So the closer we get to this game, it seems like it's definitely not that. Just like every other racing game made in the last 15 years is not that. So whatever, dude. Bring back the racing games, y'all. Quit playing around.
There's a Need for Speed that came out recently that's kind of fun. I forgot what it's called, but it's kind of open world and you just like upgrade your car and then do like races. If you do races at night, the police chase after you. If you do races during the day, you can like kind of be a little safer. It was fun.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. Sounds like the racing game of old. I'd play it. But
we'll see. But check out I haven't done a gaming stream in a while. I think I'm abandoning Batman. I'm putting this at the end of the episode, so maybe only some people hear it. I think I'm gonna abandon Batman Arkham Knight. Might move on. 007 comes out in a couple of weeks, but Andy requested the game, but if he doesn't play it on opening day,
seniority.
And if it's like the Hitman games, it's gonna be fun because I can kill it at the Hitman games. So sneak around. Find clues.
One of you needs to play Elden Ring before the movie. I'd tune in the whole way, dude. Because you're not gonna know where anything is. Idiots.
I'm gonna die. I don't want to die that many times on the internet.
I will help you, dude. Actually, I'll just be in the chat, tell you where to go. Because if you go get your staff and start using magic, you're gonna make it through that game, and it's not gonna be so hard. Magic is easy mode.
I want magic. I will go magic for sure.
It's the most fun too. They have a sick combat magic, whatever you want to call it. It's so fun gameplay.
Okay. I'll check it out eventually before the movie. I'll play it before the movie. Okay, put it on the list.
Deal.
All All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of Week in Geek. Stay tuned for our coverage of The Boys, episodes 5 through 7, and the Punisher special will be out next week. So thank you, and we'll see you next time. Oh, wow. Was that late? Was that a late comment?
Someone in the comments, I think it's the same guy that called us goofy and weird, says the Flash doesn't need to be in the DCU. Shame. Wow. Open the doors for the internet haters, all you scumbags, by the way. Go ahead and just point that towards David's directions because we need the Flash. We need the Flash.
Right.
No, but David's way better than you internet haters, so shut up. So
right.
is Love.
Yeah, don't hate on his Star Wars list either, okay? He messed up a little bit. It wasn't that bad.
Thank you for the extra views. Keep hating on David for saying that about the Flash. Hate. But you guys are scumbags.
Go watch that John Bernthal video too.
Yeah, watch that shit. Go ahead.
All right, thank you.
Too.
And we'll see you next time.
On Why So City is a Nerd Podcast.